The Contact 5 investigator spent the past few months uncovering how much empty government property is costing you. Is it a big investment or a big waste of money? They're empty.
That's just, I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous.
Worn down.
Oh my God.
And left behind.
That's crazy when they're not even using it.
We added it up. In just the past 5 years, more than $3 million has been spent on unused government property in our area.
That's unfathomable for me, that type of money.
Like here in Fort Pierce. School leaders tore down the old high school, but kept these unused portable classrooms, costing taxpayers $60,000.
And 83 cents. Forget the 83 cents.
Don't forget the 83 cents.
There's nothing to maintain. What are they going to do? Cut the weeds?
Actually, that's another $5,000.
I mean, come on.
Out in the Glades, the state shut down the prison last year to save money.
I'm not surprised of anything that they do.
Since then, the vacant buildings and security is costing you $112,000.
They're paying that money for nothing.
And here in the air at Palm Beach International, the Fed spent more than $19 million on this new air traffic control tower. 2 years later, it's still empty, and they're still spending money to maintain it. First, a closer look at the agency with some of the biggest expenses. Palm Beach County. More than 100 vacant properties, from prime oceanfront real estate to unused green spaces to buildings that are attracting unwanted visitors. The total price tag, $113 million. Why isn't the county considered selling some of this property to offset all the massive budget cuts?
If we do own land we can sell, we just want to make sure we get a good price for it, and that's the thing that's tough to do right now.
County Administrator Robert Weissman wants to hold on to most of the land for future use, including this office building near the airport, a building that has sat mostly empty for the past 6 years, costing you a total of $600,000. Even if you don't want to sell it, why haven't you considered leasing it to save $100,000 a year?
We're hopeful within 5 years to have full occupancy of that building.
But another 5 years means another $500,000 in taxpayer money.
Yes, but it might take $8 million to fix it up.
If you think that sounds like a lot, we took a tour of the county's most expensive vacant property with the guy who maintains it.
As the taxpayers, we paid $60 million for this land.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
A big chunk of land called Mecca Farms, bought for Scripps Labs that were later built in Jupiter.
And it's just still sitting here today.
Kind of a waste.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now taxpayers are stuck footing the bill to take care of it.
What if I told you they spend $250,000 a year just to maintain this property?
To do what? That's surprising as hell. I mean, I don't know how... That's surprising.
A total of $2 million to take care of a property they haven't been able to unload.
If we could sell it, we would save the taxpayers a lot.
What do you have to say to some taxpayers who might look at this and say, hey, you're misspending my money?
I think the way we're managing our properties is the best we can do for the taxpayers and ourselves for the long run.
And that takes us back to where we started, to those unused classrooms in St. Lucie County. Why don't you just tear them down?
We might.
The prison might reopen one day, too, so the state doesn't want to sell it. And as for the empty tower that rises above them all, the feds may have to spend even more money before moving in next year. It wasn't built big enough in the first place.
Spending that kind of money on a vacant property, I'm sorry, I think that's just wrong.
Tonight, the feds told me we should have documents associated with that airport tower by the end of the day tomorrow. We will let you know, of course. Plus, we also want to point out Scripps Labs is not affiliated with WPTV or its owner, the E.W. Scripps Companies. Michael, as you know, that development was supposed to be located at Mecca Farms. It later moved north.